To the IFSTA family, congratulations on 90 years of being the leader in developing fire service training materials.
What makes IFSTA the leader in the fire service are the people that show up and put the product on the table. Their willingness to lean into the hard conversations, their willingness to explore the challenges in the fire service and continue to leverage the mission and increase our capacity in public safety.
I'm privileged to be a part of this group, not only as an employee of OSU and FPP, but be involved with IFSTA. But I think to be here for this 90th milestone, I think we have history books from the 50th and the 75th, and now I've had the opportunity to be a part of the 90th milestone.
Well, first off, I say happy 90th IFSTA. What a ride, what a road, what a path, and excited to see the road and the path that it paves for future firefighters. And I would just say for people that are excited to see where IFSTA is going to be in the next 90 years, it's going to be in a great place, and it's going to make the fire service better, safer, and more efficient.
We had to work in the last 90 years to get to that reputation. That the reputation to trust a brand, that does not come overnight. The IFSTA of 90 years from now will be even a greater recognized source for information.
I am proud to be here today as IFSTA celebrates their 90th anniversary. I think that speaks volumes for the quality and the care that IFSTA has in what they put together for the fire service.
When you first start with IFSTA, you hear a lot of the history of meeting in the fire station in Stillwater and those first original meetings to validate how we're teaching firefighters. And to think that they were doing this process 90 years ago, we've certainly evolved. That tried and true process is still valid, and it's still happening today.
IFSTA is coming up on its 90th year in existence. Any organization in any profession that has been around for that period of time, that within itself says a lot about that organization in terms of its drive, its resiliency, its mission, its focus.
What's great about IFSTA is that everybody goes through IFSTA. Somehow, somebody has moved or been touched by IFSTA, whether that's through the essentials manuals or a company officer books, investigator, inspector. It touches everybody.
From the time I became a recruit till I retired as a fire chief, and even now, FPP and IFSTA has been part of my life. I grew up with FPP and the IFSTA manuals. They helped me progress. They helped me be better. And as I got involved in the process, the manuals process, they became a family. My children grew up coming to these meetings. And I think that that's what I will take away, is that this is a family.
I'd really like to thank IFSTA for all of the things that they've done for the men and women of the American Fire Service and the International Fire Service.
IFSTA is 90 years of development of fire service training material based on science and consensus standard of subject matter experts to develop training materials that make firefighters more effective and safe. Congratulations, IFSTA, on your 90th anniversary. It is a commendable achievement.
So my history with IFSTA goes back to when I was a student at Oklahoma State University back in the early 1980s. I was actually here for the 50th anniversary of IFSTA. I had the opportunity to see the 50th and the 75th, and it's quite interesting that we're coming up on the 90th because it makes me feel old. The most valuable thing that I have taken away from all these 40 years has been the friendships, the camaraderie, just the relationships and getting to know people.
Happy anniversary. 90 years is indeed very impressive.
So as the public calls on the fire service to grow their response, we're going to be right there with them to provide those training materials.
When we talk about where IFSTA is headed in the future, from my perspective, it's, there's this conversation about diversity and equity and things like that. So making information accessible to more people. When I go into a firehouse now, everybody's on their phone, right? Every single one of us has a device in our pocket. So how do we leverage technology to further education? And I think that's going to be the challenge for IFSTA in the future, is to take what's in textbooks and make that more accessible to people, to get it into their fingertips and in more places.
So I see different formats coming too in the future of how people out there in the fire service that want to get tidbits of information can gather that information. And I think IFSTA is going to be the place they get it.
IFSTA in the future is headed towards use of electronic media in the forms that we know now and in forms that we haven't yet foreseen to capture fact, science, content, best practices, and they will find different means to deliver that material as content to the firefighters of the future who are different and learn different today than I learned many, many years ago.
IFSTA cultivates firefighters. IFSTA cultivates loss prevention engineers. It cultivates what the fire service is. And so that's its biggest and brightest future is it's going to continue to do that and do it even better than we did.
We're excited to be here. We're excited to be in a good place at the 90th, but the best is yet to come.